What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one. Hope all is well. There's some things about this case that is strange, and I'm going to point it out. It's a misinformation being spread on the case, and that's on purpose. They want some outrage on this case. They really do want a huge. They was hoping for a big outrage on this case. They were hoping for people to crash out on this case. That's what they were hoping for. And there's something strange going on with this kid's parents as well that I'm going to point out um, in this situation. There's something strange about them. First of all, during the penalty phase, you're supposed to argue mitigating circumstances on why this kid should get sentenced on the low end. His father didn't even speak. The only person that spoke on his behalf was his mother. That was the only person that spoke on his kid's behalf. No psychiatrist, no nothing. You know, nobody spoke on his behalf. Like, it was inevitable that he was going to go to jail. I mean, for real. He could have taken a deal, which would have got him 10 years. But now he got to do an extra 7 years because he has to do 17 years before he's eligible for parole. And they could have taken this a long time ago. But the thing is that GoFundMe would have stopped. It's crazy. They failed him. His people failed him. And let me just say this real quick for the first misunderstanding. There's a picture going around. Okay, see this picture right here? They're saying that the judge is in the picture. This is the judge right here. That's the judge, right? The judge is not in this picture. People are saying that, oh, his dad is cool with the judge. Well, the judge is not in that picture. So there's misinformation being spread on purpose right now on this case. The judge is not in this picture. Okay? That's the judge there. All right, so let's get to his parents, man. First of all, his dad didn't speak on his behalf. That's strange to me. Only one person spoke up on his kid's behalf. Just one person. Only one person spoke up on his kid's behalf. You mean to tell me no other family, no other friends could speak up on his kid's behalf to try to convince this jury to sentence him on the low end? Dad didn't even say anything. Okay? The dad didn't even say anything. And here's the thing what people are forgetting. They keep saying that the twins are bullies. He was getting bullied. There was a guy, let me tell you where this misinformation, there was a guy out there that said that he saw a video, the actual video. It was found out that the guy was lying. And the guy that was spreading that information, he just wanted his 10 minutes of fame. And also, he's a registered sex offender. He's a registered sex offender, the guy that was out there spreading that misinformation. Let me tell you guys right now, I know for a fact there was some people outside that trial that was at the Diddy trial and they were paid to be there. They're like paid protesters. I saw the same exact thing. I was like, oh my God, those are some of the people that was outside the Diddy trial. These people are paid to be there. Okay? They're paid to be there. And I know for a fact I've seen the same people. One of the guys that was out there getting in the other dude's face, he was at a Diddy trial. These are like, what are they, like paid, whatever you call them? Whatever you call them, they're like paid to go out there and cause trouble. And also, they were at the No Kings event protest in New York City. A lot of them. The average person is not going to go out there and care about this case. I'm just telling y'all this. But they want you to care and they want you to crash out over this case. The fact of the matter is, he killed somebody. Okay? He killed somebody. And when you kill somebody, you got to do a little time. You got to do time for that. And then now that people are trying to compare his case to Kyle Rittenhouse and all this type of stuff, and They're trying to get people to. It's like a rage bait situation. I'm here to tell you, don't rage bait over this. Don't rage out over this. Don't rage out over this, man. His family could have convinced him to take a deal, and he could have been out in like 6.5, 7 years. All right. So you need to go talk to them. Go talk to them, and then go from there. I knew it had to have been a deal on the table. It had to have been. But they the one chose to take this to the door. Okay, and then that's it. But this guy that was outside the courthouse, he was lying and telling everybody that he saw a video, the actual video of the kid getting jumped. It was proven that he was lying. And just to get everybody up in a rage, he was lying. And on top of it, he's a registered sex offender on top of that. And that's who everybody's believing. This case is crazy. It really is. It really. It's like this guy. I knew this case was going to be weird, but the thing was, it wasn't in the media enough. This case wasn't in the media. It just came back in the media. But prior to this case wasn't really in the media. They didn't hype this case up like they were supposed to, and a lot of people really is not caring about this case. They really not. But they want like a national outrage over this case. They were hoping that people would crash out, but that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Gas prices are too high. Grocery bills are too high. People got other stuff to worry about than worry about Carmelo Anthony, man. I'm just being real with you, man. At this particular point, like nobody, like really caring, man. At this point, man. I mean, really, it's like it's a lot more stuff going on in the country right now, but there's a lot of lies being floated around right now. And people say, "Yo, Max, did you hear what Charleston, whatever the hell his name, White, is saying?" I don't care what he's saying. He's a rage baiter. That kid is a paid. That guy's a paid step and fetch it kind of guy. He is. I don't listen to anything he got to say. Anything. Oh, but he said that he's now supporting it. I don't care what he's saying. I just know that somebody got stabbed in the chest over a fist fight. That's all I know. And when I grew up, you fought back. Sometimes you'll lose. They said, well, the kids were big. I don't care how big those kids were, man. I don't care. If they come in with the fist, you bring the fist. If they jump you, you get jumped. The fuck? Act like some people might act like they didn't get jumped before. Okay? These kids are punks these days, man. That's why. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. He's lucky he didn't get life. He's lucky. And I did see the picture, his mugshot of his first day in jail. Guys, I'm telling you right now, just he looks, man, did you see his mugshot? When they cut his hair and everything now. They cut his hair off and everything. I mean, this kid is, guys, I didn't realize how tiny he was. He is tiny. He is. No wonder he sit up there and got the poking. That kid is tiny. That kid is like a size 1. Okay? I haven't been his size since 5th grade. I might have been his size in 5th grade, man. So that is an issue. You know what I'm saying? Um, he looked like he did look like he was like a distance runner or something. He was that kid is tiny. And it looked like he got smaller, because of the stress. He probably wasn't eating. That kid is tiny. Oh my God, man. I hope he be okay in prison. Just on prison, he got to get used to the politics. And I just don't want nobody to take advantage of him. He might have to PC up. He might have to be by himself. I don't know how he gonna unless somebody come along and show him the ropes or whatever the case is. Y'all keep bringing up that child case with this case. I'm not talking about child case right now. Maybe I need to talk about that because people keep bringing that up. That ain't got nothing to do with this. This is totally two different things here. Well, actually, no. Both cases involve, you know, you said who may protect him in there. You said the blacks will protect. Nah, that's yo. You guys never seen Lockup before. You shit. Not where he going. I need to school y'all on the Texas system, yo. Nah, yo, there's some real life crazy people up in there that he need to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? There's some lifers up in there that he going where the lifers at. You know that, right? He's going where the lifers at. He's not a lifer, but that's where he's going. He's going to Huntsville. You better go research it. You better go research it, man. He gonna have to PCL. He probably be by himself for a little while because they gotta watch him. Or he gonna be on suicide watch. I don't give a damn what he started. This kid is he is tiny. He is tiny, man. He is tiny. I just that man. He's oh man. The kid is tiny, man. But I knew people his size and still use their hands. Matter of fact, there's this kid I grew up with. His name was Freshy. He was mad tiny, but he could fight though. You know what I'm saying? He still threw up the deuces, whether he got beat up or not. See, that's where we come from. We need to go back to the old school days. You know, start telling your kids, man, to fight, man. If they can't walk away, if they can't walk away, and that person want to fist fight with them, just get it. Let's get to it. And if they get beat up, so they get beat up. At least they fought. Because usually, when you fight somebody and you're not scared, usually they give you respect. Even though they beat you up, you'll get respect. They won't keep doing it. They won't keep messing with you because they know that you'll fight. Okay, taking out the poker with like he did, that was cheating. Uh, People say, well, man, the kid was big. Now, I don't care how big he was. Okay, he sit up there and start throwing them fists and start throwing them hands. Where I come from, we didn't throw them, we didn't stab nobody. Now, people did do that back in the day, but I'm talking about old, good old fashioned fist fight. If you lose, you lose. Okay, that's the chance you take. So people, you know what's crazy about this kid? People amaze me. Somebody died here, and you want him to not do no time? That's crazy. What kind of timeline I'm on now? I'm, all right. Yeah, what kind of timeline I'm on? It's crazy. He's gonna have to be by himself for a while. And he was like the way he was crying and all that stuff. Yeah, he definitely got to be by himself. They got to watch him. He gonna have to learn. And his parents, they fucked him over. They fucked him over. The dude's dad that died, he know people. Yeah, he do. And he gave them an olive branch. He said, well, why don't we just show solidarity? He went to the press conference. He's here to show solidarity. They told him to leave. I said, yo, they getting ready to serve this kid up, yo. And they may have set him up. They may have, but we're not going to be able to prove it. I tried to tell you guys yesterday how the good old boy system works. You're not going to beat it. You guys didn't create this system. And this system would be here when everybody's dead and gone. You didn't create the system, man. And you're not bigger than the program. Okay? His dad is a straight up weirdo. I'm just telling you this. The kid, Karmelo, his dad's a weirdo, yo. You mean to tell me you let your wife go up there and talk for the family and you didn't talk? You a weirdo. I'm just telling y'all this. I just found out like the only person that spoke on Carmelo's hat is his mother. But his dad can't talk because he was talking in front of that camera. Why aren't you talking in front of that jury? Because if I was the juror, you know what I'd be like? Well, if his dad don't give a damn, I don't give a damn about him. I want to hear from the dad if he's there. But y'all got that money though. Y'all got it. But let me explain something to you guys about this money they collected that nobody knows about. So now that Carmelo has been convicted of this murder, guess what's getting ready to happen? This civil case is coming. And guess who's liable under Texas law? The parents. If they can't sue Carmelo, they can sue the parents. The parents are liable. So guess what's going to happen? The burden of proof is not so great in a civil case. It's the preponderance of evidence. They're going to lose, and that money they got that they collected is going. It's going to go away. Unless they spent it all, that's getting ready to go away. So y'all go ahead and keep donating because y'all going to be giving it to the Metcalf family. That's who y'all going to be giving it to. That civil case is coming. I'm pretty sure. Just wait for it. They were just waiting for this to be finalized, and they'll take the rest of their money. And I tell you how Texas get down. Texas is a state where they don't play. Okay, their son is gone. Their son may. Do you realize how serious this is? Their son may never come home alive. Yeah, Max, he got 17. He could die tomorrow. There was a case that I followed involving a co-leader, right? As soon he was in the county fighting his case, right? But once he finally got convicted, as soon as he got on the main yard at his permanent housing facility, he got stabbed up the very day he got there. That's how dangerous this thing is. Okay? He may not make this thing out. He may not make it out alive. And just based on looking at him and the way he's looking, it's a death sentence for him. Ain't nobody telling you that. I know how they get down up there in the Texas, in that particular prison. This could be a death sentence if he don't know how to protect himself. I know what y'all saying. Well, some the people are protecting. What y'all talking about, man? Y'all ain't. I can tell some people ain't been through nothing. Y'all don't know. I gotta explain everything. Okay, the fuck world y'all live in. He is in harm's way now. He's in harm's way. You don't think that other kids' daddy ain't connected? Yes, he is connected. How we know he won't, the CEO, they won't do something to him and mess with him. This case should have never went to the door. When I say the door, I'm talking about a jury trial. It should never went there. This is a case where you plead out, man. He could have bought himself 20 years and he would have been out in 10. You know what I'm saying? He would have been out in 10. He would have been out before he was 30 or 20, 29 or 30 or something like that. Unfortunately with this situation, if the self-defense, this wasn't called for. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's pushing, I don't care if they push you or whatever, it don't call for stabbing. It don't. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't call for it. I know people saying, well, no, the real video is going to come out. Y'all, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. His own friend that he knew didn't even say that. His old friends, he don't know how to escalate like this. His own buddy that he was there in the tent with, he didn't say he got jumped. So it's crazy. Yeah, the lawyer was in on it. My mic messed up. I think I dropped this phone one too many times. I'm going to drop this phone. Hold on one second. I'm going to switch over. gonna switch over. Got to do the old switcheroo here. Yeah, to make, hold on a second. Do the switcheroo. Don't take too long. Yeah, there's got to be a learning lesson. Like, just tell your kids, man, like, just fight or run. See, because you sit up here and kill somebody, that's it, bro. You got to go to the big boy jail, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the big boy jail, man. You got to let the people know, man. If you're going to do the crime, you got to be prepared to face what's next, man. I already knew I knew it. I told y'all he was going down. This is not like this was an easy case. I knew it. You should have taken that deal, yo. Should have taken that deal, bro. You should have taken the deal. But they wouldn't keep collecting money if he had taken that deal early on. That money would have stopped. That's probably what it was. You mean to tell me his own father? Is that his father, yo? The one that be showing up to court? That's his parents, right? He didn't talk in his behalf. He didn't say nothing. His mother was the only one that got up there and talked. That don't seem weird to you? That's crazy. Yeah, he was offered one. The details of the deal is not public. Yeah, he was offered one early on. He said nobody from the community wanted to be on the jury. Yeah, I don't know. Is that his biological father? I don't know. Because I would have got up there and spoken his behalf or something. I have no idea. They say he is. I don't know. But we take responsibility over here. If you man enough to kill somebody, you got to do the time, baby. That's just what it is. And he lucky he didn't get life. He lucky he didn't get life. Okay, he lucky he didn't get life, man. Because when I heard that he got 35 years, I'm like, damn, that's it. That was my immediate reaction. That's it. That's all he got was 35. He lucky. You said they operate in a matriarchal family structure. Something failed him. Something failed him, man. I could tell by the way the parents are acting when they were leaving. They failed him. They failed that kid, yo. He thought he mother. They failed him, yo. They sure did. They straight up failed him. It wasn't self defense. Was not. Because the kid, he said he told the police officer on a body cam, okay? It's a recorded body cam. He told the police officer, I told him not to touch me. He said that. And the officer, hey guys, I'm here with the alleged assailant. He said, it's not alleged. I the one did it. I did it. It's not alleged. I did it. And I told him not to touch me. Okay, so the kid touched you? Or did he didn't say that they stomped on him in the body cam. He didn't say that. He didn't say that they stomped on him. He said, I told him not that. So it was only one person that touched him. He said, I told him not to touch me. And he started crying. He said, I told him not to touch me, man. He touched me. He didn't say that, man, these people stomped the hell out of me. He didn't say none of that. And these people are going around spreading misinformation. They're doing that on purpose to try to get people enraged. This is not the case that you get mad at here. You said them who get way less time. I don't know what you're talking about. Them who get way less time. Oh, let me go back and see if you've been doing the most up in here. Let me see. Um, let me see what you're talking about. Let me see. You just came up in here. What are you talking about? Them who get way less time. What are you talking about? But what are you talking? You just came in and you don't even know the context of what I'm talking about. What you talking about? You said it's plenty of them who get. Who is them? Who are you talking about? What planet are you? What planet? I don't know what planet you on. You just come up in here and just writing stuff, and you don't even know what we talking about in here. You said wasn't the boy 6'2"? Listen, man, y'all punks. Y'all punks, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn for persons. I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2", and I'm way bigger than those boys that he fought. I'm way bigger. I'm like a damn three technique. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. The kid, one of the surviving twin, I saw him on a press conference. He did have some broad shoulders. Okay, compared to this kid, I don't give a damn how big somebody. You sit up there and fight. Okay, and if you lose, you lose. Okay, we don't bring a knife to a fist fight. You punk. Don't all right, bro, me, because you a bot or something like that. You got to be a bot. Okay, this wasn't self defense. So don't come up in here talking about, oh, they get less time. We not talking about they. We talking about this case. If you use the weapon, you got to do the time. You have to do the time. Let me tell you something. When I grew up, yeah, you might have fought people bigger than you. They might have beat you. And guess what? You probably became friends after that because they respect you. Where I come from, if you fight, they respect you. They won't pick on you as much. I had a bully that somebody had the nerve to try to bully me. This happened in high school. This was freshman year in high school. He tried to bully me, not knowing that I can box, not knowing that because I don't look like I could box, right? And he sit up there and tried to buck because he now what happened was he ended up talking about I took it too far. First of all, you don't pat nobody's pockets, okay? So I pushed him. I said, "Let's get this going." He tried to wrestle me, but he couldn't get to me because I kept jabbing him. So for anybody, let me just tell you this: for anybody that got a punk for a son like Carmelo, because he's a punk, put him in boxing. Put him in boxing. That kid can't fight his way out of a paper bag, and he's sitting up there in the big boy jail now. Somebody might make him a punk. This is the reality he's facing now. He probably end up being somebody's girlfriend in there. As petite as he looked. But let me tell you something. The moment somebody try Carmelo in jail, he gonna have to fight immediately for him to get his respect. He gonna have to fight immediately, even if he lose. You put your kids in boxing classes so they can learn how to use that jab. Because the average person in a fist fight, they try to rush you. All you got to do is use your reach, and they can't get to you. Okay, that keeps people at bay, and that's enough time for you to run and get out of harm's way. If somebody's sitting up there trying to put hands on you, you don't sit there and pull out a knife because that's not equal. And people keep saying the kid was 6'2" and this and that. Y'all acting like he the Incredible Hulk. He's not the Incredible Hulk now. You said P. Diddy is waiting? No, that's federal prison. You said Metcalf should have gotten the staff. No, he wasn't getting no staff. He was with the shits. He was not getting no staff. Okay? He give it up. He was with the shits. So if this kid didn't want to lead the tent, then he gonna have to. They if they can't talk it out, if they can't talk it out, then okay, well they gonna have to go fisticuffs then. If they can't talk it out, because he should have left the damn area. If he didn't want to leave the area, okay, I'm not leaving the area. We gonna sit up here and fight then. Okay, we gonna sit up here and fight, and that's it. We gonna fight. I'm not gonna sit up here and pull no blade out and stab a man in the chest. I swear, people thought that he was gonna be found innocent. Y'all crazy. I just told you how Texas get down. Texas, boy, Texas, that's the worst possible place he could have. Listen, let me tell you what's going to happen to him. I'm going to go in the future for a minute. As soon as he's eligible for parole, right? He's going to be eligible for parole. He's going to be eligible for parole in 17 and a half years. They're going to deny him the first time. They're going to deny him the second time. They're going to deny him the third time. Because eventually, he's going to get some infractions while he's in there. He's going to get in some fights. They're going to use that against him. Well, you do have some fighting on your jacket, so we don't deny you. He's not winning the appeal. This is Texas. This is a good old boy state. He's not winning the appeal. He's not going to win it. He's not going to win the appeal. I told you their dad tried to send an olive branch to the family, and the family told him, get the hell out of our press conference. Get him out, ran him up out of there. Get out of here. We don't want to talk to you. So now it's on. It's up now. He's not winning he's not going to win that. I'm just telling you. You guys, we gotta live in reality. We have to teach the kids the right thing the first time. Conflict resolution. Because obviously the twins, they weren't taught conflict resolution either. They were not. They weren't taught conflict resolution. Neither one of them. Because somebody should have walked away and got an adult. If the kid didn't want to leave the tent, well then go get an adult then. If he ain't want to leave the tent. You ain't gonna make him leave, but I know how teenagers are, they hot headed. They're hot headed. And then Charleston White said he saw the video, he talked to the kid. Okay, if you saw the video, how come it wasn't played in court? How come your lawyers didn't fight for it? Because there's no video. He's just there to get people enraged. That's it. I don't know why y'all listen to that cockeyed fool any damn way. Y'all crazy? You can't tell he ain't retarded? What y'all listen to him for? Why? Because he get a lot of views? Come on, man. I grew up in the 80s, man. I grew up in the 80s, man. I'm old school. He grew up in the 80s too with his cockeyed self. We don't listen to cockeyed retarded people, man, where I came from. We don't. The fuck? You just listen to him because he's getting a lot of views? It wasn't no video. If it was a video, his defense attorneys would have played that in court. They would have fought hard for it. Wasn't no video, man. The fact of the matter is, yeah, he did get touched. The kid did touch him. He touched him. He grabbed. Now he probably touched him in a force way. He forcibly touched him, right? He laid hands on him. At that point, he's supposed to lay hands back. But no, he took the punk way out and got a knife. But he going to a place now where everybody got blades. And they probably will. Everybody got blades where he going. Everybody got blades. You said, so you complain about racism with Shador going. What this got to do with anything? What this, and you sit up there and donate and say that. What that got to do with it? Dude, you came all the way over here And I talk about Shador on Buff Nations Daily. This is not even Buff Nations Daily. This ain't even got nothing to do with Shador. What's wrong with you, man? I wish I could slap the taste out of you. You understand that? I wish I could, yo, but I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to sit up in the mountains for some coward like you, man. I wish you would say that in my face. I wish you would, yo. I probably would catch an assault charge. You sitting up here telling me you ain't see you sitting up here talking about Shador. What this got to do with the NFL? What this got to do with Shador, man? What this got to do? And you sit up here and just so I can read it, you donate so I can read it. Man, take your donation back, man. Lord, I wish I could slap the taste out of you. You don't got no home training. You don't have no home training. Lord, y'all parents, Lord have mercy. What did y'all parents was doing? What were y'all parents doing? Yeah, I'm in rare form today. I'm in rare form. Get your popcorn, AK. Get your popcorn out. Get your popcorn and your favorite beverage. This Carmelo Anthony case is exposing how. Hold up, damn, I missed the comment. This Carmelo case is exposing how simple a lot of our folks are. Micah L. I think I'm pronouncing your name right. You talking about simple. Lord have mercy. They sitting up here working my nerves this morning. They working my nerves, Jones. They working my they working my nerves this morning. Okay. He don't donate it and working my nerves. He talking about Shador. What this got to do with Shador? You talk about Shador and this and that. And that's on my other channel. That's on Buffs Nation Daily. That I'm not on that channel right now. And he said, well, you talk about Shador. So he watching me in the sidelines. He's watching me on the side. He's been watching. I ain't never heard this dude before in my life. He watching on the sidelines. And then finally he say something. This ain't, listen, Shador made over $17 million. Racism, Shador don't suffer from no racism. You understand that? What happened to Shador was collusion because he sat up there and talked about Tom Brady. That's why they said they did that to him. That's the word on the street. They didn't like what he said, and they colluded against him. That's what happened with Shador. That wasn't racism. That was collusion. Okay, that was like the Empire striking back on him. And then it had nothing to do with football. Why Shador got drafted in the 5th round? That had nothing to do with football. That had something to do with politics that only Shador knows about. And Shador was asked about it. Hey, Shador, did you say something about this and that? He said, I moved past it now. Shador didn't even address it. If I was Shador, I would have said, listen, I didn't say that about Tom Brady, man. He didn't say that. So it is what it is now. But he's still in the NFL, isn't he? There's not many quarterback positions to go around in the NFL. At least he could say he's still an NFL quarterback. Shador don't suffer from racism, okay? Shador doesn't live the same life we live. He don't made over $17 million. He don't have the same hardships the average person has. So don't bring Shador in this. Sit up here talking about Shador Sanders. He said, well, you ain't say that about Shador. What I was saying about Shador was there was a crime scene. It was a collusion. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say racism. They were getting him back because they said he said something sideways out of his mouth about Tom Brady. That's what the word on the street is. Now, I don't know if he said that about Tom Brady because he never addressed it. They said that they were asked him, like, hey, Tom is one of your mentors. He said, well, why would I listen to him? And his wife cheated on him with the help. They said that's what he said. Now, if he did say that, now I understand why they did it. Now, you don't disrespect people like that. Tom got respect in the NFL. He got respect. And if he really did say that, then now I understand. But I don't know because Shador never addressed it. But that's what Skip Bayless said. He said that the word on the street is they didn't like what he said in the Giants interview. They didn't like it. Okay, so they ain't had nothing to do with racism. That had something to do with what you call politics or whatever the hell happened in the back end. We don't know because Shador never addressed it. Since you want to sit here and talk about Shador, okay, and stop sitting here talking to me now. Stop sitting here signifying and want some damn attention. Stop talking. You obviously I don't want you to type in here no more. And you saying yes, you did, sitting here with your skirt on. You probably wear purses. Talking about yes, you did. What type of man say yes, you did? Shut up, man. Go on somewhere else. Go to another channel. Come on, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I haven't seen you ever. And you just gonna pop up out of the rafters and say I did this and that. You said both families lost a kid and it's sad. Right. Thank you. Thank you, April. Sorry, April, that I have to sit up here and get in rare form. But he talking about yes, you did. He's sitting up there with, and he had the nerve to wear purses. So you men wear purses now. You don't know how to go fisticuffs no more with your purse wearing selves. Sitting up here wearing pocketbooks. We used to call them pocketbooks back in the day. Okay, sitting up here wearing pocketbooks. No wonder y'all okay with him poking somebody over a fist fight because that's what y'all do. I'm scared of you young people. You said I'm funny. Well, it's a little entertainment, VW. I mean, nobody take me seriously, BM. Every now and then I have to get out of I have to get into my what you call it, Jones. What did Jones you call it before? I have to get into my soliloquy. But they just want to pick on me. That's all it is. He came out the rafters with it today. He sit up there and came out the rafters. I had never seen him before because I have a good memory. If you come in here once, I know you. I read every single comment, every single one. And they know that. They know it. That's why they get on me. Guys, if you think this is bad, you should see my comment section. Oh my God, they get me. They tore me a new one yesterday. Yes, they did. Call me all type of coons and step and fetches yesterday. I ain't get called that coon so many times in a long time. So I'm used to it. But it's okay. I like to go back and forth every now and then. It's all good. He donated, so I had to give him some attention because he donated. I appreciate the donation, but you didn't have to get at me this morning. Okay? I'm damn near a senior citizen. So why don't you leave me alone? I'm in a protected class. All right? It's not a man bag. It's a pocketbook they wear. They wear pocketbooks. And since you want to speak on Shador, I got on Shador about it. You remember when he had that fashion show in France with the little white pocketbook he had? That was a pocketbook. And guess what? They be listening to me because they started talking about it. They said, "Oh, you Shador, you wearing pocketbooks?" Because I said it. I said, "Shador, I hate to diss him, but he's sitting up here with a pocketbook on. I don't want to have to hey girl him. Shador, you wearing a pocketbook now?" And he ain't wear it no more. Like the little cute pocketbook he had, it was cute. It was the little white pocketbook he had. Okay. And look, they don't mind me because they know I'm crazy. They said, "Yo, man, Uncle over there wilding." That's the only thing they would say. He's over there wilding, yo. And I know they listen to me because one time I said they sitting over there wearing moissanite. I said they got all that moissanite over there. They don't even know they wearing moissanite. Then they started saying in their videos, they said, "Bro, why you wearing that moissanite?" They messing with me, trolling me because I the one said they wearing moissanite. You know these NFL players, a lot of them wear moissanite. Some of them knowingly wear it because why would you buy the real thing and wear the real thing out? Why would you do that when you can just wear moissanite? It looks the same. Nobody's going to be able to tell. Or lab grown diamonds. Lab grown diamonds. But these dudes are wearing pocketbooks. Okay, you can't let the women have nothing no more. Y'all wearing tight jeans. Okay, y'all sitting up there wearing pocketbooks. Y'all sitting up here switching, and he switching with it too. Walking with a switch. Lord have mercy, yo. I'm in a different timeline, man. I mean, did I get struck by lightning or something? I'm in a different timeline. They sitting up here switching, okay, and they'll be quick to cut you. You know they be quick to cut you. People that act like that, they quick to cut you. I had got into it on the train one time. Now you know you don't get on it with the train with nobody. I was headed to I was at Journal Square. And you know you don't get into it with them type of people. I sat up there and got into it because I'm sitting down because the train was packed. He said, you can't get up and let somebody sit down. I said, no, sir. No, sir. He said, who are you calling, sir? I am a ma'am. I said, no, you not. I said, you sitting up there. I said, you are not I said, you are not a ma'am. You are not a ma'am. Okay. And me and him started going back and forth. And he said, don't you? He said, I cut you. I cut you. I said, you sitting up there talking about you a man, and you looking like Bo Outlaw with box braids, with high heels on, looking like Bo Outlaw, and you gonna sit up here and you want me to call you a man, and you looking like Bo, and you looking like, and you a rat. Let me get you out of here, man, because you were a person, you want some attention around here. So what I'm gonna do is you going back to the rafters. I'm gonna put you in timeout for a little bit because you did donate. So I put you in timeout. I'm not gonna sing you completely to the rafters yet. But yeah, these people, man, he sit up there, he had a belly shirt on, it was tied up, looking like Bo Outlaw. Just imagine Bo Outlaw. You know the braids the women wear, the long braids? He had on long braids. He looked like Bo Outlaw. And he had on, he was tall too, and he had the nerve to have high heels on. Had 8-inch pumps. Talking about he gonna beat my ass. And guess what? He probably would have beat my ass. He probably would have. He said, I'm gonna sit up here and cut you. I'm gonna cut you. And guess what I did? I said, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm going to a new car. He said, that's right. I ran him off, honey. That's how he said it. You damn right I went to another car. He told me sit up here, I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna cut you. I bet you I did go. And I know what you're saying. Oh, you punk ass. You sitting up there talking about Karmelo. He should have fought you, and you sitting up there walking off. You damn right. Once he said, I'm gonna cut you, I walked right off to another car. And I bet you I made it safely to Madison Square Garden. I sure did. These people and Stefan Diggs, that's what the women like now. People like Stefan Diggs. You know Stefan Diggs, a queen. He's a queen. Switching and everything. And he got more women than he know what to do with. That's what they like now. And I'm not trying to do all that. But shout out to Stefan Diggs, though. He's a good football player. I'm not trying to pick on Stefan. And now Shannon got a problem. Did you see Shannon? You see that audio with Shannon? Shannon talking about everybody picking on him, and he's sitting up there with a whole audio talking about Hollywood. What you gonna do with it? Shannon off the hook, yo. Unc need to just go ahead and come on out. Because we still gonna rock with Unc regardless. People are weird, man. We in a different timeline. But it's all good. Everybody's welcome. I'm not trying to knock nobody for their orientation. Okay. But that kid that guy that was messing with me here in the comments earlier, he know he wear purses. He do. He wear purses and everything. So that's what they do now. They wear purses. They don't let the women have nothing no more. Nothing. Women ain't nothing sacred for y'all no more. They wear lace up underwear, pocketbooks, everything, thongs, nothing. Y'all competing with the men now. It's crazy. But Carmelo, he will now. His next thing is Let me just say this before I get into what he got to do. So, like I said, let's get back to how this happened. Um, the twin, he shouldn't have put his hands on him. And yes, they are labeled bullies. They are. So I have to look. I talk bad about one. I got to talk bad about the other. They did get suspended for school. They weren't supposed to be there. Okay. Number two, they weren't supposed to be there. Number three, they are labeled as bullies. They known to bully. Okay. And I hate to say this now. If I say bad something about Karmelo, I gotta say something bad about the other one. He got his issue. He bullied the wrong MFer. That's what happened. He bullied the wrong person. What did our mother say when we were growing up? Keep your hands to yourself and mind your own business. But what did the bully do? You got to get the F out of here, this and that, out of this tent. And guess what? He met the wrong person. He met I wish a MF would person, and he got his issue. Okay, so I got to talk bad about them twins now because they were bullies. They were. They have a bad track record in high school. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how they broke their father's arm. He got his issue. You see how he was looking at the press conference, looking all, stuck on stupid. He know damn well why his brother died. You know why his brother died? Because they just felt like picking on somebody. And let me tell you what happened. This is what they're not telling you. They didn't jump him, but both of them were surrounding him. They didn't jump him though, because you know why? They didn't get the opportunity to. Boop, he got him just like that. It would happen so fast. So what happened? So the moral of the story is you keep your hands to yourself because everybody's not out here to be touched. Everybody's not to be played with out here. Karmelo wasn't to be played with. He wasn't to be played with. So with that being said, will he be safe in prison? Yes, he will. He'll be okay. He'll be okay in there because he didn't touch no children. He didn't touch no women. He ain't in there for SAing. He ain't in there for children. He'll be okay. But the only problem is right now they have to have him on suicide watch. They have to, worry about him that way. But they should have kept their hands to themselves, or we wouldn't be here right now. There's people walking the street where they don't know if this is going to be their last day on earth. That's how in a dark place they are. And then what if I go out there and just randomly mess with somebody? I have respect for everybody. Sometimes I go out and sit in the park. People walk by, hey, how you doing? Good morning. I have respect for people. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're homeless. I don't care. Because you don't know if they're on their wits' end. You don't know if they just ready to leave this earth and they'll take you with them. That's what happened. They were bullies throughout high school and they finally learned the ultimate lesson. He's not going to bully no more. He's not. He's not going to bully no more because he don't know if he's going to mess with the wrong person. He messed with the wrong person. He wished what I wish an MF would type person. That's what Karmelo did. He wasn't trying to let them put hands on him. You put hands on me, I'm going to sit up here and send you up. That's the mentality he had. You're not going to sit here and put hands on me, white boy. I know that's what he was thinking. Let me tell you something else what he was thinking. The hell, this cracker putting hands on me. This cracker. I know that's what he was thinking. I know that's how they talk at home. I know this cracker ain't putting his hands on me. And that's what he did. I can break down this whole situation. I don't agree with what he did. He could have just walked away. But you got to understand, we were taught when we were older, when we were younger, mind your business and keep your hands to yourself because everybody not playing with you out here. That's why. So what's going to happen is if there is such a video out there, it'll eventually come out. Um he only people keep saying he got 35, he got 17 years. So Maybe he can get in a program and stuff like that, and maybe get some more time shaved off. Because Texas got a lot of programs where he can get more time shaved off of his original time. So it's programs he can get into. He will be out before he's 40. He'll be out before he's 40. He still live his life. He's still going to live his life. I remember what here's the victim impact statement. What the twin said: "You still got air in your body. My brother's 6 feet under. That's because y'all sitting up there being bullies." He lucky I wasn't the judge. I said, "No, you need to be quiet, sir. You need to be quiet because you're the reason why your brother is like that. You should have held your brother back and tell him to keep his hands to himself, and he wouldn't have been 6 feet under prematurely. So you need to learn your motherfucking lesson. Keep your hands to yourself, or your ass gonna be 6 feet under." I hate to say it. See, I'm right. I got to be. I already talked bad about Carmelo. I got to talk bad about the family. They know damn well their boys was with the shits. Them boys was trouble. I'm not saying I'm not agreeing that he should have died because of it, but you need to keep your hands to yourself. Who the hell y'all think y'all are? Gonna sit there and put hands on somebody. And guess what? Y'all learn the ultimate lesson. You put hands on somebody, you might go 6 feet under prematurely. Because Carmelo was, I wish an MF would type person. I know people like that. They thought because he was small and petite that he wasn't gonna do nothing. He already said that he put his hands in his bag, and you come close to see what happened. They still came closer. That's the universal signal. If somebody put their hand in their bag, that's the universal sign, call sign that they have a gun. You back off. Everybody knows this. But no, they wanted to sit up there and be bullies and still go touch him anyway. And then that was it. He sent them up. I know they told him to leave, but they should have got a grown up. If he didn't want to leave, that's when you go get a grown up. Hey guys, I got a guy over here. He don't want to leave. He's causing trouble. And then if you get the grown up there and he still don't want to leave, that's when you call the police, and the police would have handled it. You said he had a knife for a reason. That's why you don't mess with everybody. I know people walking around with guns. Something worse than knives. You know what? Somebody also said that I don't think this was their first encounter. I think they knew each other. They knew him. But they didn't. They This not the first time they saw him. So, but the twin is not talking. The surviving twin is not saying nothing. See, they can't say just anything because you know that there's a pending. They probably gonna do a civil lawsuit next. So it's not much they could say because that'll matter hurt their case. They probably gonna sue the family because you know the family is liable now because of the death. In Texas, the parents are liable. So that money that they collected, they probably gonna lose it in the civil case. Yeah, so it's just sad all the way around. But just to justify the killing, it's not really justifiable. I understand it though, because I know some people out here that's a wish and MF or would type of person. That's why you got to be careful who you deal with out here. Just respect people, and you won't have to worry about it. I have a story. So it was years ago. It's probably like maybe more than 5 years ago now. Actually, no, it was. It was during the pandemic. It was 2020. Well, late 2020. No, actually, it was early pandemic because people were still, what you call it, that social distancing thing. Everybody was still wearing masks. Because remember, after a while, they told us we had to wear the mask no more. It was early on. So, I was going to the store. So it was a guy, he was like a young guy, he's in his 20s. He was like, he was standing off to the side, but I could immediately tell that something's up with this kid. And I was going into the store, so he walked in front of me. He opened the door. He opened the door for. I said, "Hey man, thank you. I appreciate it." He's all right, cool, no problem. And then we went outside. He was like, "Yeah, I'll be seeing you around and stuff, man." He said, "Man," I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I'm just coming here, going to the store." And then after that, I used to see him kind of a lot. And we'd just have conversations. We'd be talking about sports, all that type of stuff. And he told me I'm a real cool person, like that. And maybe a few weeks later, I haven't seen him no more. He disappeared. And finally, I read the news that they finally caught the person they were looking for that killed several people. He was going around killing people. Like he was going around robbing and killing people. And that was the guy. He was targeting people with money. That's what he was doing. And he killed like two or three people. And they had been looking for him, and that was him the whole time. Now that man was dangerous. What happened if I had disrespected that man? What do you think he would have done to me? It kind of haunted me though. I was like, "Yo, that's the dude I be talking to." I told my brother that. He said, "Yeah, but he thought you was cool. He ain't mess with you." And he was on the run that whole time. They caught him. He wasn't even from Virginia. It's crazy. You don't never know who you're talking to. Just have respect for people. That's the only thing I can say. A lot of people don't respect people no more. I see a lot of people blacking out on people, road rage out here, all that type of stuff. The devil lives in New Jersey. That's why I be telling people. Um, People cutting each other off, disrespecting people. It's just crazy. Then you're gonna run into somebody that wish you MF or would type person. Then people walking amongst us. You said you're encouraging other young black boys and men to do something that will put them in prison. English must not be your first language, pro. Yeah, it must not be your first language. You don't understand what I'm saying. What in my soliloquy is me encouraging other young black boys to do something that'll put them in prison. Yeah, English cannot be your first language. Either that or you're a bot. I just happened to see your comment. He has rubbish parents. You from England? Are you from England? A girl named Van? Not teaching him to control his emotions. His parents ate all that money rather than get good legal. Oh boy, that representation was something a legend. You mean to tell me they only had one person speak up for him? What type of rep? They didn't care about him, yo. They didn't. I'm just being honest with you. They didn't care, yo. The father didn't care enough either. He ain't speak. Because if I'm the jury, I'm like, if the father don't care, I don't care. You said his parents haven't collected the money. How do you know they didn't collect the money yet? He has some bad lawyers, bro. They only had one person speak on his behalf. He didn't have a psychiatrist come. He didn't have somebody from the cloth come, a preacher, nothing. I somehow blame the music, though, sometimes these people be listening to. This music is demonic. I don't know about the money. I do know that they have money that they raise. I don't know if they touch it or not. I'm not sure. But I know they have like some type of fund set up. But that's for to pay for lawyers, you know. They were able to rent a big house. They lived in a big house prior to that though. They had money. They were upper middle class people. You said everybody want to be a thug. You said stay away from people trying to enjoy their lives and better themselves. Julio trial, those boys, everything up there. Up there, what? Up there speaking. You talking about the Julio Fulio trial? Them boys that was accused of killing. Yeah, they didn't come from bad households either. You said Austin died fast. Melo will suffer for years and years. Yeah, he's sitting up there in prison. Yeah, he gonna suffer. They could have had more people to talk on his behalf than that. Just his mother. That's it. Yeah, they still get paid regardless, right? At the end of the day, they still got their money. He will be in. So you think he'll be in solitary? What about Dominic Alexander? What about him? You said, "What do I think about him?" What about him? I mean, he can choose to go into solitary if he wants to, if he can't be on the main line. He can go in PC if he wants to. But the problem is with that, he'll be by himself. I think he'll be fine out there. He didn't, it's not, the crime, he didn't, they have, he didn't go in there for SA or anything. How do I feel about Chud the Builder case? I've already talked about it. Chud the Builder, Chud, Chud the, Chud the Builder didn't understand the law. So with Chud the Builder, the reason why he can't get out of prison, because first of all, the judge won't allow him the money that he raised. The judge won't allow him to use that to bail out. Number two, he didn't understand the law. Yes, he was exercising his First Amendment right of freedom of speech, right? However, if you bait somebody and sit there and call them, all type of ninjas and say they chimping out, what you're doing is you're baiting people. In Tennessee, that's against the law. So when you do that and the person act on it and you end up shooting them, you're going to jail. He didn't know that. He broke the law. You can't say it's okay for him to say, okay, you call him the N word and stuff. But when he said the moment he say, I have something for you, I got some hot ones for you, or I got this for you, he breaking the law. And if that person decide to attack him, he actually is the one breaking the law. He didn't know that. So he gonna have to plead out on that case. He's not going to trial on that. He gonna plead out. He gonna plead out to about 20 years in Tennessee. He'll get about 20. He'll be out in 17. Chud gone. He's done. He don't know it. He's done though. I could have told him about Tennessee. That's why you gotta learn the law. You can't sit up there and bait people and call them that, because what Tennessee is saying that you're baiting people. Like everybody don't want to be called the N word, and they have a and then they come attack you. You the one caused it. You caused the confrontation, so you're guilty. He didn't know that. So Chud is done. Chud gonna get about 10, 15 years. No, probably about 15. He gonna do some time. So he's done. You say he is getting time. You talking about Chud? He's for sure he's getting time. He shot somebody. That's attempted murder. They charged him with attempted murder. He's getting 20 years. He knows this already. That's why he's looking the way he's looking in court. He knows this. He's not going to trial at all, because they already confiscated the video evidence and everything, because he was taping it. He was doing his viral stuff, calling people chimps and all that kind of stuff. And then he didn't realize, I told you don't mess with people, because he ran into a wish a MF or would person. And the guy had all type of PTSD from serving in the war. And that's who he messed with. And he shot him. As attempted murder. He getting 20. You'll never see Chud again. That's a simple case. You never see him again. Now the other case involving the with the Asian guy that shot the kid in the back, they practiced jury nullification in his case. They just didn't want to convict him, but he was guilty though. There's only one way to handle that, right? If you're the family member, somebody got to crash out for that kid. Now, if the family not willing to crash out, I don't care. Let's move on to another case. Somebody should have crashed out by now. You know, you gonna he gonna go back to his business and run his business, and somebody not gonna go in there and crash out? Yeah, I don't care. If the family don't care, I don't care. Somebody need to be sitting up in the mountains for their kid. If that was my kid, I would be glad to have 3 hots in a cot for the rest of my life. I'd be glad to do it. 3 hots in a cot. That's it. Because that's how you teach them. See, this country was founded on violence, right? They took the country. They didn't just go in there and say, "Oh, they took it." They had revolutions, didn't they? They had the American Revolution over this country. They even fought they even fought their predecessors over this country. They fought England. They didn't want to keep paying tax to England. Remember the Boston Tea Party? Okay, you have to go through something to get something. They know that. So if more families started to crash out over their loved ones, maybe this stuff will stop. Like that situation involving Trayvon, one of his parents should have crashed out. That's a crash out case. The reason why I say that is because the police even told Zimmerman to stop chasing him. Stop. You're doing our job. Don't worry about it. He still did it anyway. So somebody should have complimentary. They should have crashed out. But he don't have a crazy family member that'll crash out for him. You have to crash out sometime. Protesting doesn't work. Yeah, they told him to stay in his car. But what happened was the jury practiced jury nullification on that. They know he was guilty because he was the aggressor and he chased him. But they practiced jury nullification. What is jury nullification in layman's terms? You know a person is guilty, but you vote not guilty anyway because you think the sentence is harsh or whatever the case is. You don't want to put them away. They practice jury nullification. In this situation involving this kid here, where we saw yesterday, it was a sad situation because his parents didn't teach him conflict resolution. Okay, they didn't teach him certain things to survive out here. They didn't teach him the certain tools that he need to navigate in this world we have. Yes, you're going to be confronted in this world. Somebody's going to test you, but you got to know how to get through it. Somebody's going to test you, and When somebody tell you to leave, they talking tough. It don't always warrant death. It doesn't. You got to tell your kids that they want you in prison anyway. They want you to have three hots in a cot. There's certain jails out here that's not even filled up. They want them filled up. They want the recidivism rate high. You got to know this. You got to tell your kids this so they'll know how to navigate through the system. So they won't be a statistic. They want you to get in the system. Once you get caught up in the system, that's it. Something was weird about I was watching how the parents was leaving, just the way they were interacting with the crowd. I said, man, is this shit even real? Is even the way they're acting. I was watching them when they were going into their car. I said, this don't even seem real, bro. Even the person that they hired to be their spokesperson got a checkered past. I like this can't be real, bro. This is a case where they want people to crash out on. It has to be, but it didn't though. People not crashing out over this case. They're a little displeased. I think if the kid was sentenced to 15 years yesterday, everybody'd be okay with that because that's what you call this is not a murder one case, it's a manslaughter case. I think people were looking for manslaughter because 15 years, how much time he would have did? He would have did half of 15, right? I think people would have been okay with 7.5 years as opposed to 17 because it was a manslaughter case. This wasn't murder one. He didn't go out of his house. He didn't leave his house set out to kill somebody. Or he didn't sit on that bench, say, I'm about to kill somebody on this bench. No, it was a crime of passion. That's what happened. Manslaughter at best. So if he had got 15 years, I think everybody been okay with that. Like, you know what? He'll be out in 7.5 years. He still have his young adult life. I think everybody would have been okay with that. So that's the only thing. I think that's why a lot of people are in outrage right now, right? And that's why they keep bringing up Kyle Rittenhouse. Some people say, well, Kyle Rittenhouse, he killed somebody and he wasn't even supposed to be there with his rifle and he got off scot free. I get it. They brought up Zimmerman. Zimmerman killed Trayvon, and this is what happened. I mean, he killed somebody. He killed Trayvon, and Trayvon didn't even do anything. Trayvon just went to the store and just to come back and chill with his little brother, right? He didn't do nothing, and the kid was following him. I mean, the man was following a child. Actually, Trayvon was a kid, right? He was following him. So I get why people are outraged. That's why people are more so really outraged because they feel like the justice system isn't fair. Guys, this system has never been fair. Never. It's never been fair, and it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be. But that's why people are more so in outrage because people keep getting away with stuff. And I know what y'all saying. Well, damn, they maxed the kid. This is his first offense, and he got there. Yeah, that's how Texas is. But I think people would have been okay if he got manslaughter numbers because manslaughter was like what 5 to 15 years. He would have been out in 7 probably, or maybe before that. I think it'd have been okay for people because it was a manslaughter case or reckless. What is the one under that? Reckless something. That was that too. That's what this case was. Where he was it was reckless endangerment and resulting in a loss of life. That's what this was. He didn't set out to kill the person. Like it was just that it was just because of his actions that somebody lost their life. It's manslaughter. I can say that. It was damn. It's busy today. Manslaughter. Um. So that's why people are in outrage, and I get it. I get both sides. And I can't. That's why I say it's okay. People come over here, they be upset. So we got to have discourse so we can figure out how to navigate through this. So sometimes we need discourse right now. We need some type of discourse, go back and forth for a minute, and maybe we can all come to some type of one accord. This is what need to happen. Maybe I'm living life through rose-colored glasses. But you know what somebody told me? He belonged to the Jewish community. I used to work with him. You know what he told me? He said, Max, I can go to Seattle, Washington right now with no money and somebody gonna take care of me. I said, what? He said, yeah, I can go anywhere in the country. All I gotta do is find the nearest synagogue and let them know who I am and my family is, and somebody gonna put me up, make sure I got some money, and make sure I'm okay and make sure I get on my feet. And once I get on my feet, I'll do the same for somebody else. Y'all don't have that. He told me that. And he said everybody know that about us. He said y'all don't do that to each other. He said that's why people don't respect you. He told me this. He said not you, but collectively. He said you guys have the most spending power than some small nations. And you guys don't come together, you fight each other. He said it's gonna keep happening until y'all wake up. He told me that. Hey, what's up, Prince? Me and Prince right here, Antoine. We went to high school together. He said, not surprised that Carmelo Anthony was found guilty of murder. Young black men and black women never get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to self-preservation. Hashtag gotta love the double standard. Thank you, Ant. Thank you for the donation. Um, so that you hear what he said. So, but here's the thing, Antoine. What can we do now? We have the most spending power than some small nations. We're very powerful people with our money. So why can't we collectively come together? We don't have to like each other a lot, but why can't we come together and do some things to make sure this stuff stops? I know we used to do it before segregation. Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought segregation up because it's a part of history. It's a part of the history in the United States. I like history. All history is not good history, right? But I still like it. Segregation was very, very unique. And I'm only one generation removed from it because my mother grew up during segregation. So there's a few things that they're not telling you what happened during segregation. Muhammad Ali had told a story one time. He said he didn't realize how racist this system was until he left Louisville. I said, really? He grew up during segregation. How he didn't know? And a white cop was the one that got him into boxing and said that he can beat somebody. He said, you're going to beat somebody. That's what this cop told him. He said, I see it in you. He said, you're ordained. He said, you're going to do great things in life. And he told Muhammad Ali mother that he said, let me have your son. Right. And Muhammad Ali didn't really know how to fight at the time. He said it was something in him. He's going to be great. He said, I could see it. He has a light on him. And his mother said, okay, we'll take him and let him fight then. Let him fight. And, that's how it was during segregation. Even white businesses were still patronizing us. A lot of people don't know that. My mother said one time they were walking past this bakery. It had white only. So a lot of the people in the community, they didn't frequent that bakery. And the bakery wasn't getting no damn business. So the lady came out. She said, how come y'all don't come in here? And my grandmother said, well, it says white only. We're not going in there. We're not giving you our money. We're going to walk 5 miles and go up here. She said, the lady called. She said, hold on a second. So the lady told her husband to come out. She said, we need to take this sign down. He said, I told you we need to take this sign down. They weren't from here. They were from England. And they were told to put the sign up to keep their business. The government, the powers that be told them that. And that's one of the rules to have their business. They got to have this sign up. They didn't want the sign up. So you know what they did? They kept the sign up and just said, just come on in here. Just get the word out. That's what a lot of businesses did. But what's interesting is we talk about Black Wall Street. You often hear about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, Black Wall Street was all over the country. Even in here in New Jersey, Montclair, New Jersey was predominantly black. It's a predominantly black area. Lower Montclair, it was predominantly black area. Now, Upper Montclair was like segregated. It was white up there. But Lower Montclair area, it's still nice. It was predominantly black. And it was like they had their own doctors, everything, dentists, everything, banks, black, everything. And what happened was during the civil rights and all that stuff, they stopped it. And the reason why they stopped it is because they realized during the Great Depression. Did you know the black community saved Cadillac during the Great Depression? We saved them. Even Cadillac, going to what they credit us, we saved them actually. And the reason being is because we didn't lose our money. A lot of us didn't lose our money during the Great Depression when the banks crashed because they wouldn't let us put our money in the banks because of segregation. So a lot of us put our money under the floor mattress or put it under the mattress. So we had cash, and a lot of us were buying Cadillacs. That's what saved the company. So they realized that we have a lot of spending power. So they said, listen, we can't have this thing segregated no more. They did it for economic reasons. And also they did it also to take our power away because we didn't need them. We could have just stayed segregated. We didn't need them. And they saw that they wanted the money. So that's why they desegregated. That's it. They desegregated. And the powers that be that look like us, that was champion for that, they were working for the system the whole time. It was just that Martin Luther King, at the end of his career, he woke up. He had an epiphany or something, and he woke up and he became very conscious. And that's when they killed him. No, they didn't kill him because of that. They killed him because he had a speech and he was talking about we're going to boycott certain brands and we're going to boycott the Teamsters and the unions. As soon as he had that speech, within 48 hours, he was dead. That's why they killed him. But yes, we have a lot of spending power. We're very powerful people. The world knows this. They know this. But when we fight each other and stuff like that, and things used to be a lot better for us in the 1950s and part of the 60s. It's when the crack hit the streets is when it was like Hiroshima for us. We never came back from that when crack hit the streets. Crack hit the streets for us. Now, South Central Los Angeles was ground zero for crack, that crack epidemic. South Central Los Angeles, they don't even call it South Central no more. That's funny. They call it south of LA. No, fuckers. It's South Central LA. That's what it is. It ain't no south of LA. They trying to make us a gentrifying. No, South Central Los Angeles was ground zero. We never recovered from it. And then people started battling each other and fighting each other and stuff like that. And we never recovered from it. And so yeah, but at some point, can you come together and make stuff happen? Can you get lobbyists and go to Washington and get lobbyists to champion for it? That's how it works. But we can't do that because a lot of our upper echelon 1% people, they don't want to have nothing to do with us. And then sometime you can't be involved with anybody anyway because a lot of people don't mean you no good. But anyway, that's just looking at life through rose-colored glass. We're not gonna come together. Then the small hats, we call them the Jays, the Jews. They don't like each other. They don't have to like each other either. They have beefs within their own community. They do. But if they have to do something politically, they come together. That's what's happening in Thailand right now, if y'all don't know. Thailand, it's over 100 to 200,000 of them moved to Thailand. Thailand is like worried about it now. So what they do is they frequent certain businesses, right? If they don't like the price, they're like, "Oh, we'll pay this." And if Thailand, they're not playing it. You're gonna pay this or else. So what they do is they get thousands of them to go on Google and send a bad review to that business. That's what they do. They collectively come together. So do you think people gonna frequent that business? No, the business is gonna go down because they got bad reviews. That's the problem they got going on in that country right now. And also in that country, Thailand has never been invaded before. They never had invasions. They've been completely autonomous forever. But what's happening now is when you go to Thailand and try to start a business, you have to own that business with a native. The Jews are not doing that. They own it outright. They're not listening to them. They do what they want to do because collectively they come together and they're very powerful. That's why. They don't tolerate disrespect. They don't. They do something about it. We don't do that. So that's the thing. But Carmelo's situation at best, it was manslaughter. He did kill the guy, right? It's manslaughter. He didn't set out to kill him. It was manslaughter. But I know how Texas is. I knew this kid was in harm's way now. In Texas, they're not playing. We stay divided because we want to be divided. That's why we still divided. We want to be divided. I mean, what is it going to take? An alien invasion for us to come together? That's what it's going to take when the aliens come. It's going to take an alien invasion. Or something. Yeah, he can appeal it. Yeah, and have the charges reduced. He had to go through the appeals, and that could happen. Okay, so in the appeals, what can he do in the appeals? Okay, so he's not going to have the same lawyers. He have to get a lawyer that specializes in the appeals. So what they're going to do is um they're going to go through this case. They're going to get the transcripts on the case because that's what they got to get next. They got to get the transcripts on the case. He's going to go through the case with a fine tooth comb to find what we call errors in the case. You remember doing voir dire? Um, they brought up the Batson challenge. I don't know if anybody y'all remember that. The reason why they brought up that Batson challenge is because there was no black jurors, and they felt like the jurors were getting struck for no reason. So they had to bring that up. So the lawyers did their part so that they had to say something on that, object to it, so that it can have action in the appeals later on. So that's one situation that he probably has some action in. They didn't have no black jurors whatsoever, and they did have some jurors that they questioned, but they struck all of them, and they also struck them because they were educators. I don't think that's a good reason to strike them because they're educators, but they struck them anyway. So yeah, he'll have some action there. And also, was there something that they said to the jury that was very prejudicial? So he might have some action there. So they're gonna go through with a fine tooth comb. He could be in the appeals process for years. The appeals could last 10, 15 years, especially in Texas. You don't exhaust all your appeal rights until like years later. So he'll definitely still have appeals rights, even if he lose the first appeal. That doesn't mean that he still don't have action. So what Carmelo's going to have to do, he's going to have to get in the law library because laws get changed from time to time. You never know. We have a new governor might take over. He might institute a law, or Trump might put a law into place that'll get your time reduced. Because that's what happened with Big Meech. Because a lot of people say, "Well, did Big Meech tell?" No, Big Meech didn't tell. Trump. What Trump did when he became president. When Trump became president, he changed the law to where if you had went to jail for a violent crime and you didn't kill I mean you didn't go for it was a non-violent crime, you didn't kill anybody, you can get your time greatly reduced. Yes, the first step back. Thank you, Shannon. You can get your time reduced by half. and a lot of people got out of jail. Trump was responsible for getting a lot of brothers out of jail. A lot, a lot, a lot. Okay, a lot. I mean, a lot. But so that's how Big Meech got out because of Trump. And speaking of Trump, I know some people like, why did he pardon Lil Wayne and Kodak Black? That's because his grandkids like them. His grandkids approached him on that, and he pardoned them. He said, "Oh, you like Kodak?" I'm like, yeah, all right, let me pardon him. That's why he did it. Because you thought that might have been weird, like, then what? It's random. Kodak Black. Why did he pardon him? It's because his grandkids. They like his music. But the First Step Act, so Diddy, he's getting ready to get out. Diddy is going to get out before the holidays. So the reason why is because he's eligible for the First Step Act. That knocks off 50% of your time, and also he's getting ready to complete the REDAP program, the Residential Drug Treatment Program. That takes another percentage off your time. So Diddy will be home for the holidays. That's why, and that's why they sped up his appeals process because they don't want his appeals to still be going on when he's out of jail. But actually, he's still going through the appeals. So, so that's what's happening. So there's always laws getting changed all the time. Nothing is absolute in the legal process. So if Carmelo was sentenced to 35 years, that's not absolute. Laws could be changed. Also they could come up with a law like this is first offense. Let's shave off some more time. So he always got to stay fighting for his case. He can't let lawyers do it for him. He has to get in the law library and do some research to help his lawyers. So that's what he gonna have to do. He need to go find a law library, and he needs to stay in there. You said you lived in Los Angeles from 1990 to 1995, so you witnessed some stuff in Los Angeles. But like I said, guys, still, obviously, like I said, in this case, somebody died here, so he need to do some type of time here. But the thing is, was the sentence just for that? Was it manslaughter? Do you think he should have been convicted on manslaughter or murder one? I honestly think it should have been manslaughter. I mean, at best, it meant manslaughter. I mean, he still would have had to do time because manslaughter carried the 10, 20 years actually. But, the jury here, the one sentenced him as well. So I always think about that too, since they got him on murder one, they could have easily gave him life and they did, and they gave him 35 years. So it could have still been a lot worse than what it was. So now he has to do 17 and a half years before he's eligible for parole in Texas. I learned a lot about Texas, didn't we? We learned a lot about Texas law, didn't we, in these past few days? You said manslaughter, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. You're right. A lot of people say that, man. There's some people saying he should have been manslaughter because I was talking to a lawyer friend of mine. You know what he told me? I don't even want to tell you all this because now this is really disturbing. I don't think I should tell y'all, man. Now I'm gonna tell you anyway. You know what he said? I said, "Hey, have you been following the Carmelo Anthony case?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "What's up with the?" I text him, "What's up with the? Do you think he should have been manslaughter?" He said, "Yeah, it's a manslaughter case, but the lawyer didn't do what they had to do, unfortunately." He said, "I would have got a manslaughter." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "It's a manslaughter case, bro." That's all he said. He said, unfortunately, he said that all lawyers are not created equal. He said it's all about who you know, my man. That's what he told me. He said I could have worked that out on the golf course. That's what he told me. He said that's manslaughter, bro. He said I could have brought that kid 15 years. That's what he said. I said, how about Texas though? He said, I know. Yeah, he said I got friends in Texas. People know each other. We could have bought that kid 15 years. He said in the United States, it's a structure, right? He said that people know each other. He said sometimes you got to pay for that. He said deals are worked out on the golf course. He said we could have bought the kid 15 years. And he told me, he said, well, you gotta understand something. He said, when I say 15 years, we're talking about that's the maximum time. So he broke it down. Let me read it. Let me look at the text message. He said, when you're looking at 15 years, he's saying you have to look at he don't have a record. He said that, okay, that helps him. He was a good student. He said all of this, he don't think this was said even in the because you know when you argue mitigating circumstances, you have to say all of this. He don't think that was said. First of all, he's a good student. He think that what their mentality was, this was truly self-defense. He don't have to defend himself. He said in actuality, that is true because the burden of proof is on the state. However, he said in this case, the burden of proof is on the defense because you have to prove that what you did was justifiable. But he said with manslaughter, at least he could have purchased him. He could have gotten him 15 years, and he would have been out in 7. He said he trust me. He said he would have got manslaughter. He said trust me. He said all you gotta do is go call somebody you know. Hey man, I need you to help me out in this case. Get a manslaughter for me. We'll work that out. We won't have to go to trial. And also, we'll make a statement, a public statement. We don't want to waste the taxpayers' money. We don't want to put the family through undue stress. Okay. We don't want to put the family through undue stress by even have to see the autopsy photos. Okay. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take the manslaughter. And he would have been out. He said we would have put him in a low medium camp. Okay. And he would have been out in 7. That's what he told me. I said, can he still get that? He said, no. He said he had to appeal. You said a jury of his peers should it have been an all black jury? No, that's not a jury. That doesn't mean what a jury of your peers mean. That doesn't mean that. You're looking at it in terms of demographic. No, that's not what the jury of your peers mean. So I was like, well, what's up with the lawyers? He said, I don't know. He said, I don't know the lawyers like that. But he said, I know what I would have done. I would have we wouldn't have went to trial. And he said I would have negotiated to try to get him in the best position possible where he get in a low medium camp. Okay. Get in a program. He would have got into he would have worked out the judge where he get into an anger management program. He would get into some other programs, stuff like that. Now he said, manslaughter, the judge could either sentence him to 20 years, but he said he could have worked it out to get him 15. Because if he had gave him 20 years, then he'd have been eligible for parole in 10 years. But he said he would have shaved 3 years off by going for the 15. So that's how it works there. But he said a lot of this stuff could be settled without even going to trial. So, because he said it wasn't a matter of that he didn't do it or not, because he already said to the officer that I did it. It's not alleged. But he claimed it was self defense. But he said he would have argued the fact that he did not show up there to kill that kid. So it was manslaughter. But his lawyers didn't really too much put up a fight. And he said also there was some questioning that he heard that they should have objected to, and they did. I don't even know what you're talking about here, Jonathan Sled. You said Rittenhouse supposed to be there. No one has to let you ride in a bum city, period. They accosted him and tried to take his rifle. He shot them. The jury is right. Period. 35 years. Now, even though you didn't write it correctly, I know what you're saying. But Lord have mercy. You just came out the rafters, Jonathan Sledge, and said all that. You came out the rafters with it. You feel better now that you got that out? He just he said sometime in Texas, he said with this particular case, it wasn't a matter of him being guilty or not, he was. But what was the crime? Was it manslaughter or was it murder one? He said typically, like with these cases, you take it to trial, you're in danger, you're dangerously close getting to murder one. He said that was the risk they took. They took a risk. They took a risk. So they went to trial, right? Maybe they thought they were going to get the manslaughter, but no, the jury, because you never know. He said the jury is very unpredictable. You don't know. You don't know how the jury is going to deliberate this, and they gave him murder one. So now that they gave him murder one, he got the time when he probably could have um, pleaded out to a lesser charge. So he took a gamble and they lost. That's pretty much it. The next thing you'll hear about this case if he goes into the appeal. That's pretty much it. And that's it. The case is pretty much wrapped up, guys. We're going to be off to the next case. I will be boots on the ground for the Luigi Mangione case out of New York City. And he has a state and federal case. So I'm going to be attending both trials. I'm not sure which is going to come first, the feds or the state. But I will be there for that. Luigi Mangione. You know, he shot the executive in New York City. He shot him in the back. And so I will be there. And some people seem to think he might have some action and he might try to beat the case. If he gets off, that means they practice jury nullification if he gets off. But he has two trials to fight, though. He has the state and feds. I don't know how he beat the feds. You know, that's going to be a huge. If he beat both, then I don't know what to tell you. But I will be boots on the ground for that case. So look out for that when that decides to start. So I'll be there for that. So what other case is coming up? I mean, did the OnlyFans case start? I was waiting for that one. But I don't know. They keep pushing her situation back. Remember, she stabbed her boyfriend. And she's going to be found guilty. I can already tell you. She should plead out. She should plead out the manslaughter. But she's not even trying to do that either. She's trying to take it to trial and beat it. So she's taking a gamble as well. I think she's trying to say that she was being abused, something like that. So we'll see about that case. Yeah, Clenny. We'll definitely see when that case decides to pop up. That'll be something I'm interested in. Just because I could see where her defense is headed. But we learn a lot by watching these trials, though. I learned a lot more so. I mean, I've been studying Texas for a while, but there's some things that I didn't know and was interesting, you know. So, especially, we got a great understanding of what stand your ground means in Texas. So, you said the integration experiment has been, well, we can't take it back now. We're integrated. The best thing to do is learn the law, teach your kids conflict resolution, teach your kids it's okay to walk away. And you ever heard the term? You ever heard people say, "I'm not going to let you trick me out of my freedom"? You don't want people to trick you out of your freedom. Just walk away. It's good to walk away. In this case, he should have walked away. What about Nancy Guthrie? I'll get to that later. She's she's still missing, man. I don't know. But the feds, they're not going to say anything until they're ready to arrest someone. Oh, and David's case out of Los Angeles. That's a case I want to follow as well if he decides to take it to court. I know you don't want to get in trouble in Texas. That's another thing you want to tell your children. Please don't get in trouble in Texas. Don't get in trouble nowhere, but Texas don't play. This is just business as usual for Texas. He already cut his hair and everything. Did y'all see his latest mugshot? God, he looks young. I mean, he is young, but wow, it's just it's crazy. He threw his life away. Yeah, you gotta teach your kids from the. You got to teach them, man. They gotta live for another day, man. Let me see if I could. I think y'all saw the picture, right? They've already up his latest mugshot. It's crazy. Crazy, man. I know what he's thinking. Like, wow, this is so unfair. Like in his mind, I know what he's thinking in his mind. It was self defense, man. This is self defense. So that's his updated photo. You see, they cut his hair. God, he looks like a little kid, man. It's crazy. And that's him. That's what they took of him yesterday. So they already put him through the process already. They cut his hair. Because that's what they make you do at first. You cut your hair down, and that's it. They give him a number. He probably already got his number already, and he's getting ready to get shipped out. I'm not sure if he's going to Huntsville. I'm not sure, but now he got to focus on his appeal. You said most kids aren't taught critical thinking. Yeah, they need to learn from this case though, right here. It's a good case for them to learn from. You say could be a psyop. Well, I was thinking that too. Like they were fighting and nobody recorded it. Kids record everything. Like, where's the recording? Like nobody recorded this incident. Because you know how kids are quick to take their cell phones out and record it. The only thing is, I'm thinking that people just like, let me mind my own business. Let me not, you know, it's a good old boy system there. Let me just, yeah, they said it happened too fast. Right. That's what they said. There are recordings of people when the people started running around, people recorded that, but they didn't record. Yeah, it happened really fast. They said he grabbed him, boom. They didn't even see him stab him. It just happened. He did it fast. Yeah, so that's right. That's why they don't have a recording on it. You said Eddie did record it. They deleted it. You know what? So no, there's got to be something. If there's a video, I don't know if there's a video actually the because it happened so fast, but I'm talking about after the fact. There has to be more video somewhere. But we're never gonna see it, man. I know how that system is. But they need to like focus on school, like teach the kids in school, like, look, it's okay to walk away. It's okay. You said the boy Eddie said he pulled out his phone and everyone was taunting him. He pulled out his phone and pretended to record it. He should have recorded it. That guy that said that, that came out that was in front of the courthouse saying he saw the video, he was proven to be a liar. And I wouldn't be surprised if the system used him because he's a registered offender and he had problems like not registering and he got caught up a few times. So maybe they put him out there, hey, say this and we might help you out. Because he was lying. He didn't see no video. But I don't know. They people saying it was a fight, but we need to see it. We need to see some type of something. The kids that got on the stand, they didn't say that. They said this didn't have to escalate like this. It didn't call for it. Wait, what his actions didn't call for it. That's what they said. Yeah, I think somebody got a recording of it too, Ant. If it leaks out sometime later, then that might help them. Because if it leaks out and they were in fact trying to jump him, then it'll help them out later. But somebody had to been recording it. These kids record everything. Eddie didn't say they were really friends like that. I think he said that's some great friendship. Then there's a theory that he had a run in with these twins before, like they know each other. Well, stuff never really gets deleted. They would have to subpoena his Apple account, or if he has an iPhone or something. If he delete the videos, they can still retrieve that data. But he doesn't have the best. He didn't have the lawyers, that type of lawyer power that will command that. Let me tell you, you know how he would have got manslaughter if he had the same lawyers that Robert Dersh had, them lawyers out of Texas. He would have got manslaughter. They command respect. Them lawyers command respect. They're retired now though. He should have got him a high powered attorney out of Texas that commands respect. He would have got manslaughter. They wouldn't have but he need a lawyer that all the courts respect, that they don't get buffaloed around. That's what he needed. It costs money though. I mean, they raised what? How much money did they raise? That all should have went to the lawyer. Yeah, my a friend of mine told me he's an attorney. He said, "Bro, do you realize there's some attorneys out here that has so much respect that nobody plays with them in court?" He said Cochran was one of them. There's certain lawyers out here that nobody plays with. He said he should have hired one of them, but it costs money though. He said this thing wouldn't have went to trial, bro. He would have got the lesser charge. At best, he would have did 7 years or 5. Because remember, it's 5 to 99 years. He said he probably would have did 5. Yeah, man, the legal system is not fair. It's not because you need money to fight it. It's just not fair at all. Yeah, they still raising money. There's a fund set up for him right now. They still raising money, right? Even to this day. You said if OJ can get off, then Melo could have. Well, OJ had the dream team. That's a difference. OJ had the best team that was ever assembled. Okay. So there's a difference there. He had the best that money could actually buy, the best team ever. You said the family has not collected any money. So who's collecting that money then on his behalf? There is a fund right now, and who's collecting it? That money. That's what I want to know. You said also OJ never admitted to the crime. Right. He kept his mouth shut. Yeah, they didn't have that type of money to get that type of lawyer that's respected in that state. Because it's all about money. They understand, like, okay, you helping the kid out. You know, we're not going to stop you from getting your money. We'll get you manslaughter. They work deals out behind the scenes. Okay, thank you. Give me the manslaughter. I'll help you out on the next case. Like that. Nobody has collected it. They have not drawn. So when are they going to do that? Like it's just the money's going to sit there. Why don't they take that money and go get a high-powered appeals lawyer? Or are they just gonna let the money sit there and don't care about the kid? Man, this world is crazy, bro. Yeah, it's up to 600, and they talking about they don't want the money. What? You better take that money and go get a high-powered attorney. They don't care really then, I guess. Fuck it. I mean, why should we care? Why not get maybe oh, you know what? Maybe they're not responsible for that account. Maybe it's somebody else. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm not saying they don't have money to get a high-powered attorney because they did very well in life. They're well upper middle class. So they could have, they got lawyer. I mean, they had paid attorneys, but it's just, it's levels to it. You said, why are the funds for? I don't know. The funds are not frozen. The people still donating to that account. But they said somebody claimed that they didn't touch the money. I'm like, how you know they didn't touch the money? How do you know? The funds are frozen. Why are the funds frozen? Why are the funds frozen? You said the Metcalfs bought a new house and truck. Hey, it's a rumor. We don't know for a fact. Yeah, it's a rumor. Shit, because I know I would have touched that money to get a better lawyer or something. Or maybe they saving it for the appeal. Money talks in this country. You know Robert Durst? He decapitated somebody and still beat the case. He decapitated a guy, okay, from to keep him from testifying against him and still beat the case. He has some off the hook lawyers in Texas. Them lawyers ain't no joke. But he ended up being convicted in California for murder on something else. Money talks, man. Okay, why was the money frozen? Why can't they touch the money? I don't understand. Oh, the freeze has since been removed. Funds released. Yeah, they got that money, man. They got that money. They got it. They got the money. They could use that for the lawyer. You say he looks like D4VD? No, the amount of money that you see there, it doesn't mean that they didn't take the money out. That's how much they collected so far. It doesn't mean that they haven't withdrawn the money. Unless you can call the people to see, you can call that account to see if they withdrew money. Can't you do that? We can call the I don't even want to go that far. I don't care really. I think it's okay if they want to collect money. They got to pay for a lawyer, right? You said Johnny don't have a son practicing law. He got his people still practicing. The Johnny Cochran firm is still around. It's called the Cochran firm. His people that was under him, that learned under him, they still practicing law. Some of the dream team is still practicing law right now. A couple of the lawyers that was on the dream team, they're on the Cochran firm right now. Carmelo had an expensive attorney. That's cool. Yeah, just because you got an expensive attorney don't mean that you're gonna win the case. It don't mean that. Who don't need to work? He has generational wealth. Who is that? Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the goal is over $1 million. Dude, they trying to get that lawyer money together. Yeah, they just saying anything, Amanda, in the comments. They are. They might tell me next that Max, they got $1 million or something. I don't know what they about to tell me next. You said Carmelo did not have I know he didn't have a public. That I do know. He didn't have no public defender. He had a paid lawyer, and his family they're doing okay financially. You said he got Nature Boy time. No, he didn't. Nature Boy got life without the possibility of parole plus 25 years. Okay, he did not get Nature Boy time. Nature Boy got life without the possibility of parole plus 25 years. Okay. So he got to die and come back and still get 25. He got life plus 25 years. Yeah, not Nature Boy town. Nature Boy, he's sitting up in PC because people tried to stab him. And I heard that they said that when he get out, they want to go get him again. So he got to stay in there unless he get moved somewhere else. You said I admit my wrongs. That's hilarious. Yeah, he got life without the possibility of parole plus 25 years on top of that. You said, and Nature Boy didn't stab nobody, right? Hopefully the appeal will be, well, we'll see. That's the next step, the appeal. You said my voice pisses me off. You said my voice pisses you off and you out. That means you have a very light voice, like you ain't got no nuts. That's probably how you sound. And that's right. So be out. Don't even come back. He said, boy, they something else. He said, your voice pisses me off. I'm out. You didn't even have to say you out. Why didn't you just leave? You just want to just be signifying. Just want people to see you. Just want some attention. Go take your purse and go somewhere. Go take your pocketbook and cross your legs and go sit down. Well, these men are something else, Amanda. They wear purses, wigs, everything. Women can't have nothing to themselves no more. Yo, we just having fun, Gotti. We just having fun. We just having fun. That's all. That's all. And you know the thing is, some people do that just for me to react. It's like a tradition we have here because they know I see everything. That's just some people. They're like, let me get him a reaction out of him. We all just having fun. You said Cardi B calls Carmelo Anthony 35-year prison sentence disgusting. That's because people believe that he should have got manslaughter. That's why. If it would have been 15 years, then that would have been more acceptable to people. That's why she's saying that for sure. Thank you, Dr. Marilyn. You said a bunch of performing. Just a bunch of performing people out here. That's just the nature of the business. People gonna come for me, but they do it. It's like an inside joke. They know I'm gonna react, so they do it. Somebody else gonna do something in a second. I don't really block them like that. They just like doing this to me. That's all. We the only ones to experience this crap. That's what people be saying. It's crazy. Um, I tell you what though, I can tell you what'll turn his situation around if he go get a high powered attorney from Texas. I'm talking about a high powered one. It'll turn his situation around. Next thing you know, that kid got resentenced to 15 years. I bet you. You just got to get the right lawyer. Okay. You got to get one of them balls hog looking lawyers. Okay. Old white money lawyer. That's what you got to get. Tony Busby. That's what you got to get. And it costs money though. And then they'll give him 15. They'll change it. Tell him to go get Tony Busby. I bet you he'll get 15 years. And he'll be out in 7. That's how this thing work in this country, man. It's not fair for the people that don't have money though. It's still not fair. But these lawyers want money, man. They money hungry. Cardi B said, "This is not justice. This is trying to make an example." You said Al Sharpton or Ben Crump, all the other ambulance chasers, because this is not their assignment. That's why. And they may have approached the Mello family, but they don't want their services. It's all set up, man. You know, all of them are part of a fraternity, so all this is set up. No, Crump hasn't said nothing about this. Yeah, he can't get no money. If he could get some money off of it, maybe he could help out. But yeah, they didn't want Ben Crump. He probably approached him, but they probably declined. You said it's self defense. They tried to jump on him in the first place. I know people keep saying this is self defense, but you got to go talk to the jury. Didn't see it that way. Y'all have see the thing is, it's the jury. The judge didn't do this to him. The jury did. You see what I'm saying? That's why you have to settle out before you go to trial. That's what I'm telling y'all. He should have got a better lawyer so he can buy himself some time. He kept this in the hands of the jury. The jury, regular people, decided his fate. They said it was murder one. And guess what? The state wasn't sure either. That's why they put manslaughter. Remember, the state put manslaughter on the table. You know that, right? The state said because they weren't sure, like, damn, we don't know if we're gonna get murder one here, but let's put manslaughter on the table to give the jury something to pick from. The jury still said murder one. You never know what the jury's gonna do. He took a chance here and going to trial. The jury said murder one, and then the jury was the one that sentenced him. So the jury is the one that did this, not the judge. The jury did it. The jury said it was murder one, and they said you getting 35 years. He rolled the dice. That's what people ain't talking about. I said we covering all ground here. He the one rolled the dice. I could have told him he should have settled out. I could have told him that. Didn't he, Antoine? Didn't he roll the dice? Sometime you crap out. He rolled the dice with the jury. The jury was not buying it. They said murder one. Yeah, you said what was the plea deal? The plea deal probably was, I'm just thinking about it. Oops, where's my hold on one second. Let me see. I think the plea deal probably was like 20 years. The plea deal is not made public though. Maybe the family will talk about it later, but we don't know what the actual plea agreement was. And more than likely it was 20. But see, the average person don't understand. Okay, 20, I would have ran with that because that means you had to do 10 years. I would have ran with that. And you still would have had your appellate rights. No, the plea deal wasn't 34 years. You said the plea deal was 40 to 6. Y'all just saying anything now. There ain't no way in the world no plea deal was 40 to 60 years. Now, come on. Because if the plea deal was 40 years, that means that he would have had to do 20 years before he's eligible for parole, which means he still would have been out 20, 30 before he's 40. No, he would have been 40 something when he got out. Yeah, he needed a better lawyer, fam. I'm sorry. He would have had Tony Busby. He would have got manslaughter. I'm just telling you all this. Yeah, they making up crazy stuff now, dog. Yeah, I ain't believing none of that. Ain't no way in the hell no plea deal was for. That means he would need better lawyers. Sorry. The family raised 700,000. Hmm. Well, I need to raise some money. I'm about to go ahead and start me up a GoFundMe. Anybody gonna donate? You gonna donate to my cause? I want to travel around to these cases. It's gonna cover my hotel, rent a car, expenses for me going all over the country. If you got a case you want to be made aware of, let me know. I'll travel to see it. That's a lot of money. Okay. That's a lot of money right there. I know his they chose a jury sentencing. So that's what we got to focus on. See, we losing focus. The jury is the one that sentenced him to 35 years, not the judge. Thank you. Thank you. You said I'm a worthy cause. Thank you, Ron, Robert. Thank you for the donation. That's going into the coffers. Yes, indeed, it's going into the coffers. And that's where we're going to right there. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we pulled around the collection plate. Thank you very much. See what I'm saying? You gonna donate to my cause, Prince? I mean, if I set up you already donated the thank you, Prince. I'm talking about if I set a GoFundMe up. I need to raise 600,000. Okay. Yo, I raised 600,000 for better content. Guys, I promise you I raised 600,000. I'm going to the nearest country you want me to go to. We're gonna do some content. Matter of fact, you want me to go to Brazil to follow that other case to find out what's going on with Floyd? Because his ass is missing. Y'all know Floyd missing. Don't act like nobody in here don't know who Floyd Wallace is. Floyd is missing. And I'm the first one to tell you he's sitting up there in Brazil messing around. He gonna go missing. And guess what? Everybody keep asking me, Max, have you heard from Floyd? Floyd missing. I told you he's gonna go missing. I told y'all that. I told you he's gonna go missing. See, the game don't change. Just the players change. Floyd went missing. Ain't nobody heard from Floyd. Floyd Wallace. Thank you, Mr. Van Gotti. He said, I guess he is a worthy call. Thank you. Thank you, son. You just bought me a coffee. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my good man. Thank you for your service. Thank you, sir. Look, I sound like a preacher. Look, we're going around the collection plate. Okay. All I'm saying was they should have worked that kid out manslaughter, man. They let the jury decide this. The jury, guys, you understand the judge didn't do this to him. This ain't the judge's fault. Okay. The jury, not only did they find him guilty on murder one, they the ones did the sentencing. So it's the jury. I know somebody. The spirit is telling me somebody from the jury listening right now. That's what the spirit is telling me. The jury listening. They probably saying, "F you, Max. We did what we had to do." Okay. Don't sit up here and say the jury did. We did what we had to do. So shout out to the jury. It ain't the judge's fault. Thank you, Shannon. You said Carmelo should have said no, Shannon. No, no, he shouldn't have. Shannon, thank you, thank you for the donation, but no, he should not have taken that stand. If Carmelo had taken that stand, they would have gave him 60 years. Okay, if he had taken that stand, they would have gave him more time. If he had taken that stand, no, he should not have taken the stand. No, no, they would have threw the book at that kid. That jury was nothing to play with. I told y'all if a quick, what did I tell y'all? A quick deliberation is mean trouble. It only took them 2 hours. You said why? No, he shouldn't have got on that stand because the jury already had him guilty. They already had him. They were already pissed with him.
They were already pissed with him, Amanda, the jury. They said they were screw facing attorneys and everything. That's what I was hearing with people that went in there. They said they were side-eyeing him and doing all types of side-eyeing. They had this man, they already had him good. They just want to get back in and fill out the paperwork. They already had him guilty. And then they probably, oh, we get to decide the sentence too. He lucky they did not give him life. $35 years is a long time. It is. But at least he'll see the light of day again because he's 19 years old. Yeah, they had their minds made up already, Miss J. They sure did. It didn't take them but less than 2 hours to deliberate. That's it. Yeah, he is going to the appeal. He has 30 days to appeal, which he probably signed that out yesterday. He's going to appeal. But we were saying is if he's going to appeal, he need to come correct with the right lawyers. He needs somebody like Tony Busby, like somebody that's connected, that type of thing. But everybody don't have that type of money. You said, how can Carmelo explain his hand on a knife, ready to stab so fast? No one had time to react. He can't explain that, Ron. That's why I say you don't take this to trial. You got to plead out to a lesser charge. No, he can't explain that. They said he stabbed that kid so fast the kid didn't even know he got stabbed. That's how fast he did it. He said he just looked down, he was bleeding. He got him so fast. You said, why didn't he do an apology or something? Because, thank you for the donation, Shannon. The reason why he didn't, because he had to maintain his innocence. What does he have to apologize for if he believed it was self-defense? Because that's his whole defense. It was self-defense. So he can't come out and apologize right now. You said he told him, don't touch him. I know. But that's not, you know, see what I'm saying? Anything for clicks. Like if I go touch you, I mean, if you come touch me, anything for clicks, is it right for me to stab you? For you just touching me? No, I'm gonna brush your hand off. Like, don't touch me. Get off of me. And then if you keep touching me, then I'm gonna try to walk away. If you keep doing it, then we're gonna have to square up. That's just that's the bottom line. You might get the best of me. And I got a bum ankle too. You probably get the best of me. You say your cousin got 40 and did 20 on a murder he didn't do. He's out and hold on, let me go back. He's out and doing fine now. See, yeah, he got 40, but he don't got to do the whole 40. You said y'all missing the point. Melo, hold on, damn, I can't miss. Hold up. Y'all missing the point. Melo admitted that he did. Yeah, he did admit it. He should have said nothing. Right. We talked about that, Van. You know what he said to the cops? It's not alleged. I did that. I told him not to touch me. He didn't say he stomped on me. They beat me up. He just simply said, I told them not to. Hold on. But yeah, guys, hold on, let me go back to what you were saying. Yeah, he shouldn't have said anything, but he did, unfortunately. He said that, I told the kid not to touch me. I told him to keep his hands off me. He didn't say to the officer they were sitting up there dog walking me and stomping me. He didn't say that. He didn't say that they were stomping him from here to Tuesday. He was getting stomped. Now, I would have understood then he's sitting up there getting stomped. Because what if they stomped him in the head? But he didn't say that. He said, I told him to not touch me. I told him this. Don't touch me. Okay? I told him to keep his hands to himself. That's not good enough. That's why you don't take that to trial. He said, no, he said, because the cop said, well, the alleged perpetrators right here. He said, ain't no nothing alleged. He said, I did it. It ain't no alleged. I did that. I did it. Talking about alleged. I the one did that. But I told him to keep his hands to himself. Don't touch me. Okay. So that's something that, since he's already talked, you don't take that to trial. But it's his right to go to trial. His lawyers can't say anything. It's his right. They should have hired Dick DeGuerin from Houston. He would have at least got a manslaughter. I know who you're talking about. You said, I don't think he knew he was dead. He thought he was injured. Yeah, he said it. And then he started crying. He said, no, he's not going to die. He's not going to die. That which means that he didn't want him to die. He didn't mean to set the kill him. So it's manslaughter, right? But the jury, guys, y'all need to talk to the jury. We know it was manslaughter. The jury was the one that said murder one. It was the jury. I told y'all the jury, the most important people in the courtroom. The jury was the one that said, it's murder one. The jury was the one, you know what they were doing? They was sitting up right there in that court, looking at him, saying, we about to teach your ass a lesson. That's the mentality they had. We gonna teach your ass a lesson now. Your ass is ours. We gonna teach you a lesson. They ain't even look at that kid when they walk back in the courtroom when they about to render that verdict. They ain't even look at him because they knew they did him dirty. Murder one, baby. And then after that, they said, oh, and we get to sentence him 35 on the wake up. The judge didn't do it. I know people keep saying, oh, he knew this and that. The judge didn't sentence him. The judge is sitting there. Okay. That's why we going back to the fact of maybe he took a gamble that he shouldn't have taken. But that's sometimes you take a gamble with the jury, and that's what happened. That jury was sitting there, and that jury box said, we about to teach this MF a lesson. They had no remorse. None. Okay? You keep your crocodile tears for somebody else. That's what they were saying in their mind. We want you to cry. That's what we want. We want you to feel that. Okay? Sometimes the jury, and remember the black juror said, I can't put a young brother away. He didn't help that kid whatsoever. Because he could have been on the jury just to hang the jury. He didn't have to tell nobody. He could have hung that jury. He didn't do that. He said, I can't put a young brother away. He didn't help him whatsoever. Because he knew he was guilty. He's like, damn, I can't put a young brother away like that. But them jury, they said, listen, you are ours now. We gonna teach you. I heard they looked at they probably had their mind made up after they saw the autopsy photo. That was it. They showed him nothing. They said and then you know what? The state probably thought like, yeah, we don't know if we're gonna get murder one. Let's put manslaughter on the table. Remember that day they put manslaughter on the table for them. They said just so that if we don't get murder one, the jury wasn't buying it. We're not giving him manslaughter because that jury was smart. If he got manslaughter, they know the max was 20. They wanted murder one. This is murder one to them. And in their mind, the jury knew what they were doing. They sentenced him to 35 years. Half of that is 17. That's the other kid died when he was 17. The jury knew what they were doing. Okay. It's not the judge here. It was the jury that the one did this to him. So, and I bet you the jury looking at some of these broadcasts, and you damn right we did that. You damn right. And we did it. You said 3/5 of a human. You thinking that's what they meant? Yeah, the jury wasn't playing with him. That jury said we give you murder one, and you got 35 years. It's crazy. You said if Austin moved towards him and pulled out a knife and said back off. If it was the other way around. Let me see. Let me read again. What happened when Austin moved towards him and he pulled out the knife and said back off? Well, then he probably would have tried to take the knife from him, or he would have backed off. Because if he pulls out a knife, it's self-preservation, so he's going to get back, and then he'll make the decision whether he want to continue or not. But yeah, he probably would have backed off. He probably would have backed off. You said Austin was a bully. Yeah, they wanted 1 year for 1 year for Austin's life. That's what they were doing. They wanted him to, spend 1 year for every year of Austin's life when he died. That's why they sentenced him to 35, because they knew that he would have had to do 50%. I mean, half the time. You said that's if he seen a knife wasn't a pocket knife. Yeah, it was a little bigger than a pocket knife. But that's the jury there. So the jury spoke, and the jury said, "This is what we're giving you." Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back a little later. I'm gonna cover this other situation that's going on. I'll be back. But thank y'all for the conversation today. We'll be back soon. All right, y'all.